Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this program you're about to listen to, it is sponsored by Spotlight Cinema Supply. I want to tell you a little bit about Spotlight Cinema Supply. You need a director's chair? Guess what? I'm sitting in one now. It was sponsored by Spotlight Cinema Supply. You need a camera van? Do you need a clothing rack? Do you need what else, guys? You need tape?
Walkie-talkies.
You want a walkie-talkie?
Starlink internet.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. But if you need it, these people have it. If you don't think that they have it, they might not have it, and they will find it for you. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you go up to Spotlight Cinema Supply and you say that Sitting with the Sosk sent you there, oh, you're going to get a little special something. So let's hear it for Spotlight Cinema Supply for sponsoring this program. Ow.
We're about to practice some Zen in the art of your career, and yes, it involves Burning Man. My DP from Stuck in Muskogee, Blake Nolan Brown, leans into the table to tell us all about shooting from the heart and for the edit. This Okie born and bred shooter is going to give us some tales from the trenches, all about the shifting industry in Oklahoma, how to do a lot with a little, and be a student of your own work. Time to Clint Eastwood this shit, cause the delivery man is here, sitting with the sauce. Coming to your ears right now, produced by Streamliner.
And you are sitting with the fucking Sosk. You're not. No, you're not. Yes, thank you. My name's PJ Sosko. Thank you for joining me at the damn table. Yeah. The guy, if you heard, because I never know when we're going to start the thing, but if you were hearing someone like grumbly, like sort of a sexy kind of caliber to his voice, that was the Huffster. He's behind the camera. Say hi, Huff. He only talks through a harmonica. Sash, you're the man behind. You're the man with the plan behind the thing in the van. That's not the way I'm still searching. Everybody, this is Sash making everything else on this show happen. Say hello, Sash.
Hola, buenas noches.
Ooh, I like the sassiness.
Nice.
I want a fucking burrito right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Picante.
I am going straight to the guest here because I have a lot to talk about with this gentleman that I have joining me. The relationship between a director and a DP, or an actor and a DP, they are one of the most important relationships to have on a set. You need the director and the DP to thinking along the same lines, that they are simpatico, and it saves the day in so many different ways, and also to allow that the director can allow the DP to nurture a relationship with their lead actor. And I have been privy to some really good relationships, and a lot of things that I've shot in Oklahoma I feel that way about, which is a really dope place to sit at. But this cat that I have at the table, this man came in and made me, as a first-time director, and I talk in gobbledygook sometimes. I fucking take up a lot of space in a room. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time. He understood what the hell I was pitching to him, and he ran with me, and he made my first directorial debut, Stuck in Muskogee. He was my first DP that I worked with in that way, and he saved my film and made what I wanted come to realization on the screen. Not only that, this motherfucker came in like 3 months ago. I think you may have met Rodney at this point. I have had him on the cast. We did a 2-dayer. We lost our DP. This motherfucker comes in like 3 hours of prep on a bum fucking leg and shoots the fuck out of this thing. And I just picture locked it today. And I will give a little bit of pat on our shoulders. It looks fucking dope because of this man humming. Blake Nolan Brown, everybody. If you want to know about a DP, you should call this motherfucker that I have at the table right now.
Hey. Heck yeah, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
And we can sip. I'm okay with the sippage.
We're going to sip it.
Mm.
That's nice.
Sizzling all the way down.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you did, man.
Yeah.
You're a wonderful DP.
Thank
you
you.
work fast. You think fast. You don't need a lot of, and no bells and whistles, ladies and gentlemen. My God, if I got this guy time and a budget, what the fuck he could do? He does it with not with like a flashlight and natural light and a kind of light bright thing he flings at the sun and catches the right glint in the fucking eye. I swear to God, dog.
dude.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I've seen when I was a younger dude and I was on sets, you know, just like mixing it up, like in the mix in LA.
Sure.
I ran into some DPs who seemed fairly delicate to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were very particular, and I respect that more as I've developed my own values and my own outlook.
Sure.
But to be like a pain in the ass to everyone on set just seems kind of counterintuitive, you know? It's like, do you know what I'm talking about? Have you encountered these dudes?
Yes.
These
And
people?
here's my way of looking at it. That I will get. If you're crazy, doesn't get in the way of the work.
That's it.
I'll tolerate you crazy.
That's it.
But when you're crazy, starts busting on the natural workflow.
Yeah.
Or we really have to think outside the box just to get your ass to the, you know, it's the
True.
green M&M thing. Fuck your green M&M, man. Whoever
I feel that.
suggested a green or thinks that is a necessary thing for the work you need to do on a set.
Yeah.
I don't
feel
know
it.
whoever did that, but it's like, yes, it's problem solver, not problem maker.
That's it.
Bet.
That's actually the crux, dude. I feel that.
I know you always do.
I feel that responsibility. You know, it's like you even mentioned the relationship between the director and the DP and the actor and the DP, and I feel like what we're trying to do is just create a cool moment. And if you're in that space, you know, I joke, but it's like master of time and space. It's like, yeah, hey, do that cool thing, but do it this way.
Yeah, man.
Like towards this angle or something, you know, do it with the light hitting you like this and it's going to be primo.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in both of those relationships, nurturing them and having trust, I think it comes down to trust.
Oh man, yeah.
know?
And to allow you to be creative, you to understand light, you to
Yeah.
understand lenses. I want to have more understanding about that, but I am in the place where I want to talk. I want to go on the story. I want you to. I hope there's this way that you can understand how I'm trying to tell it to you. Through storyboards.
It's an interpretation sometimes.
Yeah, man.
All the time, you know?
But you know, if anybody, if you haven't seen Stuck in Muskogee, it starts. It's a relationship film. It's sort of a Cassavetes kind of homage.
Yeah.
That was never the intent. It's been spoken of, and I'm like, yeah, that's I think what I was kind of going for.
Yeah,
It's a slice of life moment, and the script was something that developed in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But when I read it and the writer let me run with it, I started to see the blankets of this bed as the territory that they're about to fight on, and that is somehow I want to start there. I want to look like it. I want it to look like a drone shot
Yeah.
over territory, and then we slowly, the audience realizes, oh shit, that was the blankets.
Yeah. I
And
remember.
you
I remember.
You made that shit happen so delightfully.
Yeah.
man.
That was a specific request. And it's like, I mean, to get a specific request is cool, you know? And it was just like, okay, well then it's like being familiar with the right equipment. You know,
Yeah,
like what
and to
tools
come
do we
in with
need
the
to make this
micro lens to
happen?
know that that's fucking necessary.
Yeah.
To know the kind of lighting that's required for that. I don't fucking know. I want to look like, Hoth.
Yeah.
Like we're about to come across, what are the fucking the Tauntaun biatch, you know?
Yeah.
And
totally.
and then suddenly we're in a bed
Mhm.
and you made that shit happen. And that wasn't in the script.
Yeah.
I didn't need that in the script. I suddenly saw that in my head.
Right.
And to be able to trust you to make that happen
Man.
in the midst of my first time of being blah, 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 blah. I'm in front of the camera, but dude, it was so cool because I had come from a place. I think I've talked about this before. I developed a piece with a collaborative group. Knew that they responded so strongly to it that I'm like, okay, I can stay the fuck out of my way. As long as I got somebody on your end that can make this happen, I can then be in front, trust that instinct, have you to trust your. Yeah, so let's go back. Let's take another sip. And so, you Tulsa native?
Dude, you know what's crazy? I was born in Tulsa. Yeah, I was born in Tulsa. I was in. I lived in.
I think
Coweta.
that makes you a Tulsa native.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm from around the way, you know. I lived in Coweta for a little while. Then I moved to Mustang.
Uh-huh.
And then like.
Look at him throwing him. He's
West
like
Coast
gaining
18.
street cred. I'm like,
Dude, I'm just saying. I'm out here, and
yeah, man.
It's easy to. I haven't lived here in a long time, but I came back like COVID brought me back.
Yep.
I was just fresh of the country. I was looking to hit LA. You know, that's the skills. That's where it is.
Sure.
But I came back and I'm just trying to be like, you know, I've seen some stuff and I've gotten some cool experience, but I'm also like, I'm from around the way, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if that's a barrier to like collaborate, it's like,
But psst, I got skills.
Yeah,
just so you know.
yeah.
No, I don't want to be like, hey, I got skills. You're like, but what? Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm here to help, you know? I'm here to
You're
help.
such a storyteller.
Yeah, dude.
With the camera, dog. I
Man.
can see how it's important to you. I see it's how you approach a shot.
Bro.
And the understanding of that, you know, I send you a script and you're like, yeah, I'll jam on this. This is a good fucking story.
Yeah.
That was dope to have that response, man.
Dude, and it's fine. It's like finding, you know, there's a lot to making like a really like painterly, amazingly like light layered shot.
Mm-hmm.
But you need more time, and a lot of times you need more crew.
Mm-hmm.
I do everything I can with what I got, you know. A lot of times it's a lot with a little, but I feel like there's a point where you can emphasize, you can let your work just emphasize the emotional state of the character.
Yep.
And I feel like you can lean into that.
Oh man.
I call it like, I'm just saying, like you can shoot from the heart.
Yeah.
And you can be like, I feel this moment. I feel this character's struggle right now. Let's get in there for
or
this.
a tone.
Yeah.
There's tone with your shots too. Because we picture Locked in the last 24 hours, and there's tone in your shots, dude. It's gritty.
Isn't there something there?
Yeah, man. I don't want to. I don't know what that is, and I would not toot your horn.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a big. Yeah, I'd like keep that to yourself in the corner by with your own fucking handkerchief. Yeah. But it truly is. I do feel like you capture something that's very special, man.
That's high praise. I'm just saying that's the I don't know, isn't that the endeavor, you know? Not to be like too, you know, not
Dude,
to be
there's
kind of way.
nothing better than to say
doing?
you lose an important part of a filmmaking process because of life, because we're doing a beer and pizza type of thing, because we just want to fucking go it, but we don't want to make it shitty.
No.
We want to make it dope.
Yeah.
We've had a chance to jam.
Yeah.
And like that you ran on with it was such a cool, like to know that I trust like this guy, to say this guy's going to come in and fucking deliver. And dog,
Yo. I mean, I showed up for you.
Word.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's like, I want to bring that.
To tell a cool story.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Dude, I would say like any chance to elevate a story, any chance to like get in there and make it an experience.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. I mean, that's
man.
like when you can walk away. I feel like there have been a few times in my, you know, limited experience, you know, where as a crew we catch this moment and everyone like they're standing around the monitor and they see the shot, and as soon as it's cut, everyone's looking around each other, just smiling and nodding like, that's the shit. Like, that's the good stuff right there.
Stuck in Muskogee.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so all right. So first film, I'm working with my wife. We're playing a bickering couple. There's a smart fucking choice.
Powerful.
Fuck, props. Here's to you, Marta Ryman. You were delightful on this film.
Y'all killed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Method. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
No. But fuck, I don't even know where I was going. Right. So we're day 2, and there's a lot of ba in this movie. We've talked about that, and then there's going to be one extended moment that we decided we're just going to let this play out. It's like the big moment. I think we've earned it, and I think we can just stay with them. And it's a fucking it's like just our face. I want to hear. Just don't scream at me, guys. It's like this. It's this part of your face, and then it pulls back, and slowly in a scene, and we do it in one. Now, if that's not right, our film's gone, and it's a slow fucking pan, and this guy's just
yeah.
And I got done with that, and I looked at my sound, and I looked at Blake, and as a group. Because me and Marta had felt it, like that was fire.
Yeah.
Like there was so many little things that we hadn't rehearsed.
Yeah.
Like the you know, when the baby, the imaginary baby that's not fucking there.
Yeah.
That was, you know, and then she's looking back at the thing again that's not that. I mean, there were all these things, and man, we did it we Clint Eastwooded that shit. They said yes. They said yes. I hadn't even seen that shit. And I was like, okay, then moving on.
Yeah.
And that trust was such, even now, I take a
Really?
deep breath at the end, like, oh my God, what if it wasn't okay?
That's that's one of those things. That's one of those things, you can shoot and you can be insecure about your shot and you can be like, oh no, let's cover it. Let's get the same moment from 9 different angles and then we get the choice and edit. I'm like, let's shoot for the edit. And I think that I would argue that being like a pro, being a real sincerely, like, your stuff, you know what you're about, you know what the context is, you know what the expression is.
You should have it.
And it's like, you should be able to see it. And like, I just call it like I see it. I'm like, that's it. That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, man. I felt you.
It's
and
powerful.
At that point, we had already been jamming for a day and a half. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know, right?
But with
it's
a
like
live baby.
Yeah. It's like,
where we're just like, there's another smart thing to do in your first film, ladies and gentlemen. Decide to film a script that's got a live baby in it. Babies and fucking animals. And, that's all we're missing, a fucking cat.
I know. Where was the puppy?
Thank you, Saj.
Write
we
that
missed
in.
You.
Write that in.
We were talking about your story though. So you start here, you're born here, and you go out to LA.
Yeah.
And you how long are you out there for?
Man, so my first move outside of Oklahoma was San Francisco, which was like, life took me there. And I was got exposure to like some bigger setups, some more commercial projects. And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. But I found myself dipping down to LA and I was like, that's really what was calling me.
You want narrative.
Man.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I want narrative.
So when you say you're doing some commercial work, are you doing like commercials that are for TV? Are you doing like BMX shit on because all those things are.
At the time in San Francisco, it was a product stuff. It was like Kickstarter stuff was popping at the time. And so a fair amount of work was coming from that. And San Francisco was fairly innovative in that regard,
Yeah.
But also like the bigger sets was like IBM commercials and like Microsoft commercials and just like tech oriented. And but bigger setups.
Big budgets.
Yeah.
Big crews.
Yeah, like a full crew.
Yeah, man.
And I was dipping down to LA, which was cool, but I was like, dude, I got to just go there and be there.
Yeah.
And that gave me a crazy swath of experience.
Sure.
Just every day, week to week, you're just popping from like an indie film to like some TV thing or a music video or
right.
shooting for like Vogue and then Vice and it's just
all
like
the different styles that requires.
Yeah. And so
that's great. That's what makes you like a utility knife.
It's versatile.
Yep.
I would say, and what it also does is it gives you this kind of awareness where like everything, you don't have to like be bent on it coming to your tendencies or bent on it coming to your like sensibilities.
Good call, Blake.
It's like
Be adaptable.
It's like let it fit the container.
Sure.
Whatever the project is. If it's a TikTok video, and people like spit at that stuff or they frown down.
But it's its own
industry,
thing that clearly
make it. If it's that way, like make it slap.
Yeah,
right.
man. If you're gonna do it, whatever level it is, make sure that you take the time to not look back and be like, oh, I should have edited that a little bit more,
bro. And it's reps, and I think if you have the intention of doing it right, no matter what you're doing, and not feeling like, because dude, I would say this because there was plenty of time that I would have had this like grudge against what I was doing, and it was just like, oh, I wanted to do something better. But this mysterious better project,
that. Let me know.
It doesn't exist.
Let me know when you find that pot of gold.
Right. But it was just like, but it's an impossibility. You can't be bent like
and
that.
That's kind of what we're all trying to. We're still.
Yeah.
We still think, is there a rainbow though? Fuck, maybe.
But then it's just like, okay, that sets up an expectation that can't be filled.
Sure.
So. Give yourself
yes.
Give yourself to what is at hand.
Yes.
It's like, okay, cool.
And manifest.
Yeah. It's both
we
those
talk
things.
here in this show about fucking manifesting all the goddamn time.
Yeah. But if you do something that is like that you feel like doesn't have all the pieces in play that you want to be the ultimate expression of what you feel like you can do.
Sure.
Make the most out of it anyways.
Yeah, learn from it.
Learn everything you can, both like notice the things that work, notice the things that didn't work, practice stuff you can try. I feel like as a kid, I was a perfectionist, right? Mm-hmm. And my like my message or whatever is let that go. Let it be imperfect. Let it be perfectly imperfect. Learn how to iterate. Let it be what it is in the moment. Like let it be what it is at that time in your life or whatever, with the things
and
you
all
have at your
those are
disposal,
factors.
and then
Well
iterate
played,
again,
Blake Nolan Brown.
iterate again, and the more iterations you get through, the faster you're gonna learn.
Yeah, man.
Fail often, and that's the thing. The trick is you can't really fail. Just try it more.
I'm going to say
Try
this
it
one more
again.
time. Don't fake it till you make it. That's garbage advice. Fake it till you make it. Get up, work hard, fail, stand back up, face it again, do a little better, fail again, get back up, and fucking repeat.
Yeah.
Do
It's
that
like-
sometimes, and then we can have a chat at the table.
Yeah, and it's okay to, I'll say this too, it's okay to be frustrated, or it's okay to be critical and be like, man, I don't know that this wasn't really it, but then like identify if there was anything you could have done differently.
Sure.
And then you
Dude,
can
the things that I've
start to open
learned.
up.
I did every fucking student film I possibly could in New York for not a goddamn cent. I have now, like, I remember when I first met Marta and her dad had one of these things where he could figure out how to convert the videotapes to like a DVD. And I was like, oh, here, take all my student films and could you put them like all together? So I have a disc of the good ones and I have a disc of the bad ones.
Wow.
Of every fucking thing. And I still poke back because I learned. Go back and watch. I don't like watching
Yeah.
my work either.
Yeah.
That's talked about a lot. But
Yeah, yeah.
you better fucking figure it out
Truth.
because you're gonna have to you have to figure out if you're telling the story right.
That's actually what
Are
it
you
is.
are you getting in your own way?
Yeah.
Are you becoming habitual?
be a student? Like,
Be a student of your own work.
look at it objectively and critically at the same time, and don't
But I understand we don't want to fucking
Don't hate yourself.
or don't watch your shit. I hate watching it.
Yeah, it's tough.
But
It's
I
tough.
think that you're missing out on a lot of fucking knowledge that you can gain about your performance and things you thought or things all the things.
Use
I
it.
don't know.
Use it as a chance to use it as a measurement, and use it as a chance to like leverage it. Be like, what could I have done differently, or like be critical in this way where you're like, okay, why didn't that work though? Like,
Right.
you talk about the feel of things. It's like, bro, believe me, I had to shoot through a lot of stuff where I'm like, that didn't feel right, and I don't know why, And I'm just like, I just would beat myself up. I'm raking myself over the coals, and no one's ever. It's inconsequential. Like no one's ever going to see it. Like that's just a moment in time. That's just like one shot.
Yeah.
It's just like in a world of
That
shots, in a sea of
might-
shots.
Even if it's beautiful
Yeah.
and like I'll go in the corner and
Yeah, right.
it might not make the movie.
Yeah. Oh, as an
And what
actor.
if that's the one? Or oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, everybody talks about the things left on the cutting room floor, but when you start to play, and boy, the things that get left on the cutting room
The layers of your
floor.
heart.
Oh boy. Oh my god. Things
pain.
that like. No, I
So
made my
funny.
story. I made my whole. I've heard a couple actors talk about this. I made my whole creation on that moment. That
Yeah.
moment's now not in the thing. No wonder no one fucking gets it.
And you have no agency in it either.
That's why I'm loving the editing, dude. I
Yeah.
love pulling the fucking purse
Bro,
strings, dog. I
there's a-
love being the
Dude, there's a point where like if you're trying to direct some stuff, jump on that edit and then make it come out. Like, cause even for you talked about Stuck in Muskogee, dude. There's a point where we shot that, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. I tried to be accommodating and be present, and like make it happen. And I walked away from it, and I tried to cut through the edit, and I was like, I didn't know
Yeah,
where you were
dude.
going in the edit. You know that, like,
you assembled it now.
I
I
was
this
like-
fucking guy doesn't know what the fuck is this.
Yeah, I was
okay,
like, I
he's an
don't
amazing DP, but
understand.
he's not going to assemble my shit again.
Yeah.
But it was only because I had a.
And I edit stuff
remember
at
when
times.
we shot like
I'm familiar.
one of the first shots because everybody sort of jammed on a little bit of a Hallmark movie, so there was like there's a proficiency to that.
Yeah.
And it was like we shoot a master, and I'm
Yeah.
like, just for the record, I am not shooting a master.
Yeah, I was dude. I'm anti-coverage.
And I
Not
am
to be
not
weird
going to
about
use a
it.
master. I am not going to shoot a master that we're not going to use and waste our time doing, only to get a rhythm.
Yeah, for
Let's
what?
get our rhythm on the actual shot that we're going to fucking do. That was, but because
Shoot
I
for the
didn't-
edit.
I knew I wasn't going to
Shoot for the edit.
Yes, shoot for the edit.
Shoot for the edit.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time. Get the ideal shot. Get the
Now,
shot
it's
that
great
you
if you have
really
an editor
want.
sitting with a fucking thing, and you have the editor helping you shoot for the edit, and there are
That's
many
cool.
projects that
That
have
sounds
it.
cool, yeah.
But boy, it's great when you're simpatico and you are thinking about the
Yeah.
things that the essentials that you need.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't shoot and like cover through a scene, okay?
Of course.
But I'm saying if you shoot coverage out of fear or out of insecurity or out of lack of decisiveness, maybe pre-pro a little harder. You know, get into pre-production. Shoot the film in your head before you go shoot it on set.
Mm-hmm.
Do it 10 times.
As much as you can.
Bro,
But then, yes, you know, but then you didn't have no pre-pro, dude. You had fucking an hour, like
true.
2 hours.
That's true. But then, okay, but I will say this, that's true. But I read,
and that's what I love about him too.
Okay.
Huff, both
Yeah.
these guys, these cats are quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're old school. They're not saying, "Hey, should I do this?" No, it's fucking done.
It's back of the hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
And
just
there's
like,
not even there's a whistle. It was like, you know, I can't even whistle right now. And then suddenly something got done that nobody even mentioned needed done. It was just done.
dude, I talked to you about me and my brother and the subtle glance where it's like enough said. It's just like we look at each other.
Yeah. No, go back into it. You told me, but you didn't tell them. And they're like, what the fuck is that?
Okay, so me and my little brother, like
Right.
growing up, there was plenty of situations where, you know, something happens, some nonsense, and all we had to do was just glance at each other for like 2 seconds, and then come back, and we didn't have to say shit, but we both knew what time it was, you know,
Yeah,
and it was
man.
just like, all right, we know.
And
We're
I
here
deemed
together.
to
We're here
share,
for it.
have shared in those moments with you off and on in many experiences.
That's it. That's
And
it. Though.
that's a dope feeling. It is worth an ice cream sandwich at the end of a shoot.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I brought ice cream sandwiches for everybody, and at the end, it was just me and him.
That's all it
shooting
takes.
cigarettes just for some random reason because we're like, let's just keep shooting because this is kind of fun.
Yeah,
And I'm like, wait, I got ice cream sandwiches, and have a silly shot.
Yeah.
All
Starts to
right,
get
so
weird.
you get a lot of experience out there. You come back to fucking Tulsa.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And where you at? Talk about that. You know.
Okay, so I mean, I'm back in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's cool. Like my family's here. We had like it's been cool being back and seeing how things have changed. It's this subtle shift where it's like people are happening. Like the film industry actually, like when I left, I feel like it was kind of I don't know. When I left, I felt like it was much less accessible. Let's say.
Sure.
And then coming back, it's like there's a lot of new blood. There's a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
People are stoked on film. Everyone's trying to jump in and get a piece. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, dude. It's cool.
Yeah, it's
it's a
funny.
phenomenon.
Huff was we were all having a chat about this at one point, and he's coming from a place of how many years have you been here, Huff, again? Too many. It's like fuck 40. Hey, a bunch of collaborators is better than no fucking collaborators.
Bro. I'll say this.
You know, and it's like, look, y'all, there's fucking room for us all.
Yeah, that's real.
You know, that's what I want to encourage, what I'm trying to bring, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying, you know. And these cats are, you know, please,
Guys, yo, the reason I had to go, the reason I left is because I would tell people I might be out at like a, you know, whatever dive, you know, doing my thing after my job, which was just trying to make money, yo.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, yeah, I'm a cinematographer. And I would see people just slowly turn away and just walk. I'm talking in the middle of a conversation. Eyes glossed over.
Yeah.
And just immediately lose them. And I'm like,
Oh, poor Huff. I'm sorry, buddy.
I gotta
You've had
get
that
out of
for a
here,
long time,
man.
motherfucker, haven't you?
no, but you guys, like, I respect the industry and I respect like the community that's grown up
Of course.
while I was out.
Sure.
But I was like, okay, I want to put myself to the test. I want to go bust my knuckles. I need to learn as fast as I can, as much as I can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how I attack New York, dog.
and that versatility, dude, I'm telling you, all those different weird little things, it's just like expanded the scope. Okay.
Hell yeah, dude! I was doing industrials and going acting like the asshole who's sexist in the group environment.
Yeah.
and then people would ask me questions. Like we would we were in a team that we would travel all over the fucking country.
Yeah.
I was riding that shit instead of bartending my first year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned, like, they start to think I'm the douche. I'm like, hey, by the way, like, question and answer when we're sitting there afterwards. I was like, Joe, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm glad y'all thought it was really good, but I'm with you all. That guy's a fucking asshole.
Got you.
You know, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, you know, voiceovers, the things I learned in voiceovers that I there's times I've had when I'm when I in a cycle of doing a lot of voiceovers at once.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming instead of the film work, instead of theater. And then I would start doing a film after a bunch of voiceover work, and I had to tell the director, like, hey, by the way, I'm faking this.
Yeah.
It sounds like I know what I'm doing, and I'm sonically doing it,
Yeah.
but I'm rudderless, dog.
Got you.
I am
got you.
faking it like I'm behind a mic.
Yeah.
So please don't fall for it. Help me in this moment. Because you
That's
learn
good.
these tricks.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
And
that.
everything.
Man, there was a thing. I remember. Sorry, let me.
All right, we're dipping into a special moment.
Let me gather this thought. Let me gather this thought. Okay, it's like, okay, it's about this aspect of video. Okay, or like film and video in general. Okay, I remember like the Kickstarter stuff in San Francisco was a thing, or even like people hit documentaries hard, and there's some documentaries that are incredibly powerful and incredibly
Hells yeah.
gripping. You know, like amazing.
I love
narrative.
that storytelling idea has come out and had such a play into the zeitgeist in the last decade or so.
It's
or
incredible.
more.
There's so much there's so much real stories that are amazingly accessible, and people dedicate their time and effort to it, and they tell amazing stories.
For real.
But like, okay, Kickstarter stuff, or like when I lived in Shenzhen, China for like 3 years, dude, and all of that was product, like hard product, and like apps and stuff, just like selling stuff.
Wait,
on
how the fuck did you
Amazon.
find yourself in Shenzhen, China?
Bro? That was
Did a gig bring you there? Or were you just like, I'm just going to go to fucking...
man, I got caught up.
Oh, okay. Is it something you don't want to talk about?
I got caught up.
You ended...
Dude,
this
I
was
was
like
in-
bachelor party and suddenly you're in Shenzhen, China.
Man,
Like, I like
to-
it here.
I went to Burning Man. Yeah.
I'm so...
Yeah, yeah, and it was my second go. It was
I am drinking more to that.
it was my second go round, and I was like,
I'm so jealous. I
Yeah.
never went to Burning Man.
yo, it was my second time, and I was just like, I was, listen, I'm not trying to like
Hey,
everywhere
what
is
goes
great.
in Burning Man,
Like-
that alone.
grow, wherever
Props.
wherever you're planted and stuff, like grow
Yeah.
wherever you are. But dude, I loved LA. Like I like the possibilities that like it stimulates me, It's just
Sure.
like, oh, so much. Like I could walk into a coffee shop and maybe run into, a crazy producer who's
Right.
tied up in films, or I could
Sure.
be like, oh my God, you're in that band, and we could hit it off, and it's like, let's shoot that music video. Like,
Right.
can I pitch to you at least? And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, you seem all right. Totally, yeah, send it to me. Here's my contact.
You
Whereas,
speak
like,
so highly of yourself. You seem all right.
yeah, you seem all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's different than going into like a coffee shop and running into like, like 15 people in oil and gas.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I
of
mean?
course,
Like,
of
are we gonna
course.
do something?
See,
Do you
for-
want to collab?
Yeah.
But I'm in LA. I'm in LA, and I'm like, as much as I was mixing it up, and it was all these like
Is that a car?
as much as I was mixing it up, and I'm like touching all these interesting, diverse projects and stuff. I still was frustrated at the time with like what I had access to.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I wasn't the most organized. I was very go with the flow. I've gotten much more organized as I progress, and I think it's definitely helped me out.
Sure. Sure.
But at the time, I was just kind of like seeing what I could get into. And I got to tell you too, if you're out here making this stuff, this is like some deeper shit. But like your sense
Look
of
out, ladies
self,
and gentlemen. Deeper shit alert.
your sense of self-worth. Like, do I
Yeah,
deserve to
man.
get involved with this stuff?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And imposter syndrome stuff. I mean, that can hit you. That can hamstring you your entire life if you let it.
Sure.
But it's like if you feel a kind of way, then just focus on that. Develop it, build the skills, develop the confidence. Like you
Yeah,
got
make
that.
it so that's not a thought.
Exactly. And if you
I am
feel
not
like
a goddamn imposter. I'll tell you that fucking much.
be the guy, like be the person, like be the one. Prove it to yourself, and then you can
Yeah.
start to represent yourself authentically.
Yeah.
And you are what you say you are. It's like
But it requires putting it on the line.
that's true. So that's a deeper conversation, But
Talk to daddy.
I was in LA, bro, and I was on the.
You wanna should we
listen,
get a couch? We
listen,
got a couch
listen.
over here.
I was out there, and I was like, the diversity, like the diversity of projects was awesome. But I also feel like on some level, I felt like I call it like derisively, I was like circling the drain. I'm just going around and around and around, and I wanted to have more effect. Let's say, so I went to Burning Man, and I met some people, and they were like they were going to Shenzhen, and I was just like, dude, I've never been out of the country. I'll come through, and I went out there, and while I was gone, LA shut down the loft that I was living in because it was like not zoned properly, and I was kind of in the slumlord situation.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and so they closed the building, and I was like, oh, I don't have
here.
a place to go back to right now. And I'll just do what I can here. Because, dude, don't get me wrong. I got the Shenzhen, and as far as my skill set at the time, my confidence, I looked around at the other people who were producing some video, and I was like, man, as far as technique and as far as like access to this stuff, I was like, yo, I'm kind of head and shoulders.
Right.
Some of this feels like student film. No hate to
Sure,
student film.
sure.
I was like, dude, I think I can be in some production out here. But there's a lot, bro. Talking about organization.
Chasing it, right?
Yeah, just trying to find out.
Who do I talk to?
Yeah.
How do I make myself sound legit? How about that? All the things. It's a
Validation.
Yeah, man.
Like constant search for validation. But regardless, I mean, I just got caught up and I learned some stuff there. Like those kind of what I was getting back to full circle, you know? It was like this practical approach to video that wasn't just about like the most insane spectacle. And I think that that's helped me understand a certain aspect of like certain audiences and stuff. You know, it's like you can imagine, you know, you can write the craziest, you can write the most unhinged, insane project to be like, I want to do this. I want to, you know, fucking paint rainbows or something like on somebody's soul as it's coming out of their body in this shot. And I'm like, how do we do that in the camera? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a pragmatism. It's like as creative as you are, like my brain is like, I've taken the test and I'm like really balanced, like right, left brain. I'm like, dude, I'm like in the middle and I have access to both of those facilities. And so it's like, that's insanely awesome. That sounds great.
Can we metaphor?
How do we make that happen?
Yeah. Can we
in real life?
Can I, like the shot, or the catching of a sun, what is it called when the sun is sparkling into the lens?
Oh, a flare.
Like, so
yeah, a lens flare.
You, in one of these shots, dance with a flare in such a way that it made me want to add a sound cue
really
to dance with the flare. Like when I break out of the woods in that moment.
Yeah.
Because we've just, the
and
John McClane
like
shit.
Yeah, you're like, I got out.
And I want everybody to go, oh, he's okay. Oh, fuck, he's not up.
Yeah, that's good. That's a moment. That's
yeah,
a moment.
Yeah, but that's also told to me by your shot, which is dope.
Yeah, dude. It's just like...
And I know it's capturing lightning in a bottle.
No, well...
But we had 2 takes on that, dog. 2.
It's like willing... there's...
And 2 takes, and swear to God, it's like, we're doing it. All right.
I think it's like this. You plan really hard, you shoot it, and you have like a structure, you have a plan. You know what you're going for, right? You know how you want it to move.
Have
visually.
A plan.
But then
talk with your DP. But shoot the shit.
But then
imaginate together.
Yeah, but then in the moment, if you're out there shooting it, it's like in the moment, it's like being willing to like lean into fascination.
Yeah, man.
And just look at it like look at it with wonder.
The film starts to talk to you.
Yeah, you can and that's what I talk about. Okay.
Allowing yourself to be imaginative.
Yeah,
allowing imagination to take over the moment and change the shot.
Dude, shooting from the heart.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, man.
Where you're back to it and you're like, this is even for it to be unorthodox, you know, unorthodox. Like this isn't like the way this should go. This is the way the shot should go. But it's like, but I walk away from it and I'm just like, I feel that.
Yeah,
dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm watching them. I'm editing them right now.
It's real.
It was money. Like I keep looking back and it's like, fuck, we did that in 1. And we moved on.
1 take, Blake.
Yeah, but all right. Easy on the 1 take fucking Blake. What do you got coming up?
What do
you got? That a different conversation.
Yo.
That's not exactly high praise. No, listen. Talk to me about what you got coming up. You got anything that you got? So we have. There's a film that's coming out that we're going to submit some things pretty soon called Becoming Harry, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
But talk to me about something else. What you got?
Man, I gotta say, like in my last few short films have come out in ways where it's just like, I've been able to be more forward about the way I think we should move through the script, the way I think we should move through the shots in this kind of cool way. Dude, they've come together so nicely. Not just Becoming Harry either. There's another one before that, and there's one after that where I'm just like, talking about that substance, that like, what did you call it? There was like an essence to it, or there's a
I don't even know.
Shit, I forgot what it. Well, run it back. You guys, you guys will find it.
Put it in. Saj, just loop that back in.
That je ne sais quoi, like that thing,
That peach juice.
Oh, that makes it
that one take Blake juice.
It's that thing. Listen, it's that thing that just makes it feel right.
Yeah, man.
Oh, like that. It's visceral, And these projects are coming out with that in them,
Cool.
And I am super encouraged by that, because, anybody can call themselves a cinematographer or a DP or whatever, but then it's like, okay, there's a lot of skill sets that you have to develop to be able to actualize that on sets, like in real life, and
with budget.
Yeah,
with a little budget,
bro.
With big budget, these are all different standards in which you can envision. You can talk about your work,
bro. So the idea is that the ideal situation is we do the stuff, we make the stuff happen in spite of limitations.
Sure,
but we do it all right, and then it is attractive, and you're like, how did you do that?
Yeah,
and
how did we?
You're like, oh. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna talk about one thing, and we're probably gonna have to wrap this up. There's one shot in this film that's so cool because I keep saying this. We could have had a slide with 7 people, or a dolly track, and someone pushing the thing. It could have been done with 17 people and a dolly track and 27 people and 5 vans and a fucking... Oh, fuck. I got excited. God damn it. Sasha's like, oh my Lord, what a travesty. This guy, I fucked the duck. See, it's better. Is that better than shit?
He gets excited. Yo, PJ will get excited at times, okay?
I do. We do like Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel. Who's that?
Guy Ritchie, man.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie. It's a Guy Ritchie moment that would have been done with so many things, and he did it with his body on a bum knee with nothing. You pulled focus. You moved it. It pops. And it's so important to see what you could do without it. And you want to say that was done with him and nothing fucking else. No lights, no fucking grid, no.
Yeah.
You
pulling on the barrel of the lens.
Bingo. It's so dope.
It's
Real quick. Tales from the take. One take you have had, and you pulled something from like, fuck, this one I'm always going to pocket. Something to do, something not to do, something you've seen. Maybe one of our projects or whatever the fuck. We're running out of time, so come in.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
One take?
One take that you saw something happen, you're like, yeah, money.
Oh.
Or,
Okay. There was it's one take or whatever, but it's like it was this sequence, and it still was really, really awesome. Okay, and I broke the line, like I trashed the line. You know?
No!
Yeah, I trashed the line.
God,
but this actress was in this really weird position. She was like upside down, inverted, like hanging off the couch, like she was in this just depressive state. Okay,
yeah,
and she like reaches over her phone, and she sits up, and I'm over to the side, and she sits up, grabs the phone. And then I pop to the end of this couch, and she reaches into the camera and grabs the phone and like starts to listen to it or hit it. And then she flops on the other side of the table. And then I go like under the table back over here, right? Which is just like this really like...
Yeah.
But...
Like a floppy dead fish camera movement.
But it's like, you're not supposed to
There's no axis. You're just going.
Bro, it's... I was just like... I'm going where it feels like she needs to go. And I gotta say, even for breaking this invisible rule or whatever, the way that went together, and I was just calling it out. I hadn't had a chance to storyboard or whatever. I was just like, let's do this to this to this.
Right.
And the way that hit, it's still like strikingly, like weirdly perfect for that shot.
Yeah.
For that sequence. And
listen to rules when you need them.
Yeah.
And betray them if you need to.
But that's gutsy, and it just worked in the cut. And those are the only 3 shots we have of that. It was like, I was like, we're going to go from here to here to here.
And it worked.
And we didn't get it from this angle and this angle and this angle and this angle. Because editors are awesome, but they'll pick a shot that you did not intend to be a shot. And it's just like, oh, you're like, I'm like, that's, that's a choice. Like,
You want a gutsy fucking DP
Yeah.
who takes choices, who tells stories, who tells it like it is, who will fucking throw everything he can at a production. You're looking at it. Is there a website I can have people go find you on?
yeah, check me out at meteor.film. That's meteor.film. And yo, I'm out here to play. Like, I'm trying to elevate projects.
Bet.
We got some feature films in the works. There's some commercial stuff that I'm developing. Like, I work on documentaries, guys. I'm versatile. I'm full spectrum.
Yeah,
I call
man.
myself a full spectrum DP. I shoot from the heart.
Check this cat out. He's really, really wonderful to work with, and he leads with kindness and empathy and joy and also just badassery. So, and he fucking wears a mean-ass hat, and you know how daddy digs that shit. This has been my table. This has been Sitting with the Sauce. You have been listening to a very talented DP that I'm very proud to have had at this table, worked on 2 projects with. I can't wait for our next thing. I hope next time it's a fucking feature or something bigger or a series. I hope you guys, I hope you appreciated what this fucker said and agree with him. Look at those guns. God damn it, he's the fucking Hulk. Sauce, you got anything to say back there, dog?
Great episode.
Thank you, sir. I agree. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. This has been Sitting with the Sock. Sitting with the Sock. Peace out, y'all.